Yeah, so 2018 was a really busy year for CPL. We grew sales 17%, so that took a lot of investment and a lot of managing. That's quite significant growth. And the big thing we had to contend with was the availability and the pricing of raw materials, where many of our biggest, most important raw materials either became significant, or either went up significantly in price, or the availability was really restricted. But I was really pleased with the way CPL handled it. You know, we were very quick, we were very nimble, we got into the market early, we stocked up, and we kept all our customers supplied throughout the year without having to make formulatory changes. So we've done a number of things. The big things we focused on initially was how quickly and differently the retail market across the world is changing, how consumers are changing the way they buy many things, but including fragrances. So we've tried to identify a lot of digital customers around the world, which tend to be kind of new startups, new companies, and very focused, trying to sell to those. We've actually invested in our own startup, which will hopefully be launching later on this year. We're working really, really closely with another customer, which is very much a pure digital play. And then internally, we try to use what's going on with digital and AI to change the way we sometimes create fragrances, certainly select fragrances, and be more informed in the fragrances we select for customer projects, using all of the kind of AI and digital techniques that are now available. Well, we've got so many projects that are going on every day across every country, across some of our major markets: China, India, Europe, South America, and most of the projects tend to be very confidential, so it's really difficult to elaborate too much apart from that. Well, I think being fragrance only allows us to focus and really become absolute experts in fragrance without other distractions of other product areas. But I think the thing that really sets us apart in terms of as a fragrance house in the market is the way we position ourselves. We're probably number 7 in the world now when it comes to fragrance houses, but uniquely within probably the top 10, we don't focus on the largest multinational buyers of fragrance. The very biggest buyers, we don't sell to them, and we don't aspire to sell to them. We sell to the emerging multinationals, to the private label, to the national brands, to the contract manufacturers, to the niche fragrance brands, to many of these customers. That's our focus, that's our target customers, and it means that the best resource we've got, the R&D we've got, the production, the regulatory, all the expertise, we focus on our target customers. Well, I guess it's a very big term. It's a massively important subject, and it's something we've tried to be very, very specific about in how we're addressing it. So we've just published our first ever sustainability report as a company, which lays out the goals we're trying to follow. In terms of fragrance creation, we're doing a lot of work in sourcing sustainable ingredients, mainly essential oils around the world, and we've launched some partnerships with various growers and farmers around the world. We've had a big push into natural fragrances, which has been a major focus for us. But then it kind of goes beyond that in sustainability, in terms of things like putting solar panels on many of our factories, on doing as much as we can to operate in a sustainable way, to use less packaging, to encourage our customers to move to the biggest pack size, to cut down on packaging. And then in terms of other developments, I guess in the wider world, we set up a few years the Kofi School for the Blind in Mumbai. That's been a fantastic initiative. We continue to work passionately with CAFOD, our chosen charity around the world, who are helping the poorest of the poor. We gave a record donation to them in 2018, £450,000. So these things all come together to form our own sustainability project. Okay, so we feel EcoBoost really is the absolute perfect concept and innovation in for sustainability. We actually launched it about 7 or 8 years ago, and it's really a concept whose time has come. And it's a concept where it allows our customers to use 10 times lower dosage than they traditionally use, which then from a sustainability point of view gives them a real sustainability advantage. It's a real advantage. It's not written down. It's not something quite broad. It's real benefits. If you're using 10 times less fragrance, then you've got real benefits in terms of packaging, in terms of transport, in terms of emissions. Then in terms of other fragrance benefits, there's less problems with interactions with the base. And from an affordability point of view, it's never 10 times more expensive. So the customer always saves money by moving to an EcoBoost fragrance. So this is malodor counteractancy, where we target various different malodors and reduce that malodor by 70%. We do this, we're able to measure it statistically, so if the malodor hasn't been reduced by 70%, then it doesn't get the AromaGuard label. And we use this in a wide range of applications, from kitchen malodors to tobacco to sweat to urine to things like depilatory creams, many applications. We've had AromaGuard on the market for a number of years. We're constantly updating it, retesting, launching new fragrances, doing more innovation and more research. Okay, so in terms of our investment around the world, it's significant. All our divisions around the world have their own R&D chemists working on new developments, new innovations. In the UK, we opened a couple of years ago a new dedicated R&D facility that is there to develop and add to all our concepts around the world. In terms of how we develop new concepts, I think we mainly do it by talking to our customers around the world, finding out what their needs are, what the market developments are, looking at the market, seeing what's going on, seeing something like sustainability and how that can lead to our EcoBoost concept, and just really just by trying to be aware of what's happening in the marketplace. Okay, I'm not sure it's that devoid of glamour. I think we've got some very glamorous perfumers at CPL. So we've got 25 creative perfumers around the world, and they are the lifeblood of our company. So we're forever kind of training our perfumers, recruiting new ones, graduate trainee perfumers, recruiting experienced perfumers from the market. It's absolutely what we are as a company. We are a creative fragrance company, and we're always investing in our perfumers. Every other year we have a global perfumers conference. The last one we went to Sicily. A team of 40 people got together in Sicily, seeing some of the citrus and other products being grown in Sicily. We went to India before that. We're constantly getting the team together and investing in the team and adding to our learnings. Yeah, well, it was obviously a massive monumental tragedy for the company and from the family. We're a family company, so it's sometimes difficult to divorce the two. But Francis was probably the person I spent most time in my life with. Most mornings in Dubai we had a coffee together to start the day. So the loss is huge to the family. It's huge. The three brothers, Francis, Nick and myself, run the company together. That's now the two of us. The loss to my parents, the loss to his widow, his children is huge. And for the company, the loss is absolutely massive. He leaves a huge legacy at CPL. Everything we've achieved over the last 40 years, so much of it is down to Francis, be it customers, be it perfumes, be it branding, be it new innovations. Francis started off at CPL as a creative perfumer, ended it running branding, corporate communications and marketing, looking after customers all around the world. But I think that probably the biggest legacy that Francis leaves is, we have a really nice company with a great family culture, and Francis was an exceptionally nice man, kind man, honest man. He referred to very much as a gentleman, and I think that's the biggest legacy he leaves at CPL, is the culture we have at CPL thanks to Francis. Okay, so there's so much going on. In 2018 we grew sales by 17%. Whether we can do that in 2019 and beyond will be a challenge, but we'll certainly try. So there's lots of investment going on around the world in terms of new facilities, more automation, more investment in teams, more investment in the global fragrance market. So much going on. I think our big focus as a company is to grow, is to get bigger, is to get more professional, is to get smarter, but to remain family owned, to remain independent, and to keep that kind of, in many ways, almost small company culture where we're quick, where we react to customers, where we deliver really quickly, and not allow ourselves to get too bureaucratic, or act or think like a very big company. So we want to try and keep that kind of small company culture whilst getting big.